all year round. And so people think that they have a deadline. Yes, the university will set a deadline. Like maybe they'll tell you that, okay, on 19th December, it is closing. So yes, on 19th December is closing, but the portal actually does not close. So this is the mistake. Hey, hello and welcome to VJ Vlogs. It's always a pleasure, it's always a delight seeing all of you come back to this channel to watch the content that we have here. And so what do I have for you today? Today is going to be very interesting. It's going to be very educative. Welcome to Scholarship Insights on the VJ Vlogs. Yeah, and I know we are going to have a wonderful time on this particular channel today. Okay, and so in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about the basic mistakes that, or the biggest mistakes that people do when they want to apply to Chinese universities, or even something. This one can also suffice for general programs that you want to apply, even in other countries. But my domain is based in China. But these are the biggest mistakes that people do when they want to apply. So let's get going, and then let me tell you what people do that do not really get them the Chinese government scholarship that they are looking for. And so the first thing that people or somebody would do would not let a person win a scholarship, or the application would not be valid, as the first one is incomplete or incorrect application. Yes, incomplete or incorrect application. So people will say that, why is it that ABJ, how can this even be possible? Incomplete application. Yes, there are incomplete application. You know, some people go to the various portals like the Chinese government scholarship portal and then the university scholarship portal. I've chanced on people who have applied, and in the course of the application, you realize that on the Chinese government scholarship, I've done a step-by-step video that you can follow to apply. But somebody would apply, and then on the Chinese government scholarship portal, this is the biggest mistake that a person will do. Realize that after you have selected which of the applications to apply, the type that you have to apply, first of all, they will ask you to apply, fill in your information. So somebody will fill in the information. Once you fill in the information, you are supposed to click on finish. You click on finish, and then it looks like you are done. If you do not come back to now go to another side where you are supposed to upload document, you would never know. And so people finish that side and they think that they are done. So they will quickly go to the university website and then apply for that one also, because mostly in Chinese application, you apply to the Chinese government scholarship portal, and then you apply to the university scholarship portal. So somebody will just fill that first part of the Chinese government scholarship portal and will think that he or she is done. The person will wait, and by the time they detect it, it would have been a closure of the scholarship. And so that is why it's possible that somebody would have an incomplete application, and that automatically denotes that you are rejected. And missing deadlines, okay. So one thing that people do not know is that Chinese government scholarship portal is open all year round. It is open all year round. And so people think that they have a deadline. Yes, the university will set a deadline. Like maybe they'll tell you that, okay, on 19th December, it is closing. So yes, on 19th December is closing, but the portal actually does not close. So this is the mistake people do. So maybe the university has said that application closes on 19th December. Now 19th December is over, and I chance on the scholarship on 20th of December, and I quickly go and check the website. I create my portal. It will open for you. The moment it opens for you, realize that I can fill in the information. You fill and submit. Yes, it is true, but it is over. Why? Because the university has set a deadline. So all applications that are coming after would not qualify. But the portal is still working. So people think that, oh, I have been able to submit it. These people, they were lying to us. They said that you cannot apply on 20th after 19th. Yes, you cannot apply after 19th. But the portal works all year round. If you think I'm lying, you can have a try. Even today, chancing on this video, you can go and create a portal, and then you realize that yes, it is working, but generally it is not working, because the school has set its deadline, and then all other applications going in after the deadline would be rejected. But in essence, the portal will work after. So this is another basic mistake that, or biggest mistake that people do. And so you really want to check on this, and then you do not follow suit. And another thing is that people really ignore eligibility criteria, especially about the years. So people, you realize that they've written that master's is 35 years, PhD 40, undergraduate 25, but people still think that, oh, these people, they might not check. Yes, some might go through. Maybe somebody has shared a testimony with you that he or she was able to apply. But generally, do not lose sight of the eligibility criteria. Sometimes people do not check at all, and then they will go ahead and apply. Then after they apply, later the school come and tell them that you need to fulfill this, you need to do this, and they'll be asking where did you post this. But please make sure you check that, because they have eligibility criteria before the document needed. Eligibility criteria before the document needed. So it is very essential that you do this. So please, this is one of the other biggest mistakes that people do, and then they do not get qualified. And another thing is that for when it comes to the GPA, still under the eligibility criteria, usually they will state that they want 3.0 and above. Yes, that one is true. But I always encourage people that it doesn't matter. Even if you have like 2.7, 2.8, 2.9 to even 3, you can apply. Because personally, I have seen people who have less than 3 who have gotten CSE, and people who have even more than 4, who have more than 3 have not even been selected. So when it's the only exception I'll give to this eligibility criteria is when it comes to the GPA. Why? Because sometimes there are a lot of people who apply, and so when the competition is high, the chances of having a lower GPA not qualifying is high. However, sometimes you might never know when the application or the applicants for that particular program is low, then you would be able to go through. So I do not discourage people in terms of GPA, but for other eligibility criteria, I won't say discourage you, but I would really explain to you why it might not really work. And the other thing is the personal statement or statement of purpose, whichever names we give to it. Yes. So I have come to understand that this is very, very important. People say that, do they even read it at all? Yes, they read it. China has a peculiar way of writing it as compared to the Europe, like European schools, especially UK. UK's own is very simple. Sometimes they even demand 250 words. But China, if you are writing for PhD, they are looking at over close to 2,000. Some are even asking for 2,500. So when you see that they are demanding so much for PhD, then it means that you have to infuse your research proposal. So infuse it into it, and then you'll be able to meet that requirement. If you're a master's, they are usually looking for 1,500, and so you have to write to that limit. A lot of people actually send to me to review for them, and they'll write like 500, 250. Yes, these are acceptable for the UK, but for China, it is not acceptable. Okay, you have to explain well. And so in China, I really want to break it down into 3 perspectives. So first of all, should be about your past. The second session should be about your present, and the next one should be about the future. When you have these 3 concepts, then you should be able to write a good one. So your past, you talk about your motivation, your previous university schools, and present, what you are currently doing. And the next one, your future, where you want to go, and how these programs are going to help you. And also throw light on how China, or like why China and why this particular university. These are going to really help you to elapse all the number of things that they are searching for. And another thing or biggest mistake that people do is people neglect language requirements. People neglect language requirements. If you're applying for Chinese, be rest assured that they are going to ask you to provide. They are going to ask you to provide one thing, HSK. So once you are not able to provide it, the chances of you not being selected is high. So people always go through the hell of doing all the applications and then forget to fulfill that particular section. And at the end of the day, they are not selected. Yes. So please make sure you fulfill that particular requirement. Other than that, it will be very difficult for them to accept you. And another major thing or biggest mistake that people do when applying to Chinese university is the recommendation. So the recommendation, you realize that in China, most of the universities would not ask your professors to fill the recommendation portal unless otherwise you specify. But you can send your recommendation directly to them. And when you are sending the recommendation directly to them, what it implies or what it means is that you have to, You have to get the letter uploaded. But Chinese people would always emphasize, and this is by far one of the biggest challenges where people are getting refused every now and then. They will ask you to get the recommendation letter from a professor or an associate professor. A professor or an associate professor. And so these are the two people that can provide you, not a doctor, not a lecturer. It is a professor or an associate professor. And so by far, it is one of the biggest mistakes that people do. And so they get rejected. And the other one is that not following up. That will be my last one. And then now people do not really follow up on the application. They are like, oh, we want to wait, whatever happens happen. Okay, so by following up, you can follow up directly from the university through email, through phone calls, or you can also look for people on like myself. People have contacted me to call their schools if they cannot call them directly, or because of internet charges or whatever charges. I can call them. If you comment in the comment section, ABJ, if you email me, if you send me a WhatsApp message, I will be able to assist you on that. So please feel free and do this. And if not, you are going to really be rejected. Yes, but I do not want to see you rejected. I want to see you here in China, and then we'll have a wonderful time together. So until then, it is ABJ Vlogs. I'll see you in the next one, and I love you all so much. Please subscribe. Scholarships and study abroad, I'll guide you through it all, my faith.